one thing I'd love to know. Had those tower defenders used slingshots against the enemy too? Talking about slingshots, I remembered a YouTube video in which a burly guy fired a slingshot at cows' skulls using steel bolts. I still remembered the loud snapping sounds and the popping of exploding bones. Besides, somehow I didn't think it was going to disrupt the gameplay. Most likely I was about to fit into the combat classes nicely, slingshot and all. Judging by the Char's grinning mug, I was in for quite a ride. Never mind. One problem at a time. What's with my characteristics? On top of the existing speed, strength, and stamina, now I also had health, protection, and intellect. Next to the blue energy bar, I discovered a red one for life, green for experience, and yellow for knowledge. Thanks to what I'd gleaned from the forums, I already knew that the life bar corresponded to health. It was the same mechanism as the correlation between stamina and energy. As your health grew, so did your life bar. I really needed to look into it properly. I had plenty of energy, but judging by my life reading, I could die from the first sneeze. The bar was calibrated into 40 units. Each health point gave me 20 points life. Now, strength. Before, it only used to affect energy regeneration speed. Now it was going to do the same for life as well. The damage dealt, too, directly depended on its numbers, which was definitely good news. Protection was more or less clear. Knowledge, however, was a bit of a dark horse for me. Could it be some analog of Mage's wisdom? I really couldn't tell. I might need to try it out first. The next hurdle was the absence of the so-called bonus points. The game developers must have decided, and rightly so, that those I'd received at registration were enough. So the whole thing was a bit off balance, really. I had to enter a warrior's path with 0 protection and minimum life. The weakest of the Nameless Isles mobs would be able to blow me over with a feather. I also had some advantages, though. First, my gear's stats were quite high for level 1. And second, but not least, my little menagerie. Also, according to forum messages, I was entitled to 5 bonus points to distribute as I saw fit with every 5th level gained. If I lived long enough to see that is. Very well. My characteristics were more or less clear. Let's check my inventory. 5 icons were highlighted in my bag. 2 of clothes, 2 miscellaneous, and 1 weapon icon. I started with the clothes. What did our generous admins have for me? No surprises there. A leather vest and a pair of canvas pants. A standard newbie kit. The vest added 1 point to both health and speed, while the pants did the same for strength and stamina. All this was a pittance, of course, compared to my reflection kit, even if you forgot the fact that it was hung with runes like a Christmas tree. Any noob was bound to find their starting kit very useful, of course. Anyone, but unfortunately not me. Although I could admittedly use the extra point to health. Still, the game's rules dictated that if I wanted to wear this leather excuse for a garment, I'd have to remove some of my outerwear, breaking the set, which would lead to the loss of both the precious strength and stamina points and my impressive speed bonus. Putting it simply, 1 puny extra point to health wasn't worth all the trouble. Seeing as my new clothes were non-transferable, I might need to delete them from my inventory later, simply not to clutter my bag. Having said that, there was no rush. I could always get rid of a potentially useless item. That was me done clothes-wise.